Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Dr. Tinashe Chuchu, and these are my co-authors. And our topic is factors that drive purchase intention of counterfeit toothbrushes and its effect on customer loyalty towards the original brand. So just a brief background is when we came up with this topic, we felt that there's a lot of research that has been done on counterfeit clothing, and we didn't find a lot of literature on counterfeit toothbrush brands. So we thought it would be interesting to actually find what was there in the literature. So this is the agenda for the presentation, and we can go through the introduction a bit. So the thing is, with counterfeits as an industry, it's a very rapidly growing industry. And to put this in context, we actually looked at the Generation Y consumers in specific, because we felt that this group is very driven by consumption. And we also felt that as much as this group might be young to some extent, it also is interested in purchasing products. So we can say, in terms of counterfeiting being a new phenomenon, it's not true. It's actually something that is not very new, but it is a growing issue in both emerging and as well as developed economies. And now, when we did this study, we actually did it within a South African context, and there is limited research, like what I said previously, and we can say that the purchase of counterfeit toothbrush brands have been exacerbated by the fact that consumers see toothbrushes as non-durable brands, right? People are not going to buy a toothbrush that will last for 20 years, right? These are low cost products, and maybe that is one of the reasons why they become attractive products to counterfeit. And this takes us to our research questions. So the first research question was, what are the factors that drive purchase intention of counterfeit brands? And what is the effect of purchase intention of counterfeit toothbrush brands on brand loyalty? So we wanted to see how purchasing counterfeit products, especially toothbrush brands, affects loyalty towards the original brand that's being counterfeited. So this then was our motivation for the research. So literature tells us that there's been extensive media campaigns and increased public awareness towards beauty, healthy living products, which have made it very important for consumers to look for hygienic cosmetic products. And in this case, counterfeit toothbrush brands sort of fell into that category. And because we wanted to really understand human behavior, consumer behavior, we looked at the theory of planned behavior as well as the theory of reasoned action. These two theories underpinned our entire study. Okay? Then, if we are going to incorporate those two theories into our target group, we could say that the Generation Y consumers are consumer-driven, and they are highly active in the marketplace. And the Generation Y consumers have been raised in a consumption-driven society, and often with high levels of discretionary income. So we can say now that they are therefore regarded as active participants in the marketplace. Then these are some statistics on counterfeiting, and we can say there's an estimate that 5 to 7% of world trade, right, is where manufacturers of genuine products have been deprived of their products and brand amounting to 600 billion US dollars per annum. And this has a growth rate of 1700% over the last 10 years. And counterfeiting has typically been prevalent in the market for durable goods. So this made it interesting for us to look at a non-durable goods that we thought has not really been looked at, like toothbrush brands. So here we can say usually luxury clothes, watches like your Rolex, your Lacoste, all those luxury brands. And this is an ideal opportunity for counterfeiters to earn massive return on investments. Like in the previous presentation, we said there is no R&D involved in counterfeiting, right? And there isn't much investment because they are leveraging on established brands. So we can now say, when we look at counterfeiting brands, we can say this illegal trade is now expanded into non-durable goods, right? And after all the literature was looked at, we developed a conceptual model that we thought will at least help us to address our research questions. So we had a few antecedents here of purchase intention. So we thought price, right, would be a good antecedent. And we felt that when people buy counterfeit products, maybe this is something they would look at. Perceived product quality, product availability, consumer attitudes, and consumer integrity. We felt all these antecedents would potentially influence purchase intention, and ultimately all this would influence brand loyalty towards the original brand. So this is our methodology. Because we didn't have a sampling frame, we relied on convenient sampling. Therefore, we adopted non-probability sampling. We looked at almost 300 generation wine consumers, and we used a 5-point Likert scale. All this data was collected in a busy district in Johannesburg, South Africa. And we did descriptive statistics where we looked at the sample profile, gender, age, level of income, level of education. And we did structural equation modeling where we tested the hypothesis. So we can see that some of the relationships we supported, like product availability here and purchase intention, was supported and significant. And we could also tell that customer attitudes and purchase intention were also supported and significant. Unfortunately, a large number of the hypotheses were not supported, but it's interesting to see why something like price wouldn't be a significant, wouldn't give us a significant outcome when we look at purchase intention, because it's naturally assumed that maybe we would look at price, right? So those are our findings, and we could conclude that the study aimed to investigate price, perceived quality, product availability, consumer attitudes, and consumer integrity on the loyalty of original brands. And through considering the negative consequences of the counterfeit industry on brands, the responsibility now lies both with companies as well as consumers, right? We feel that it shouldn't be limited just to marketers. Even consumers can play a role, and marketers should encourage policymakers to enforce more aggressive laws to fight infiltration of counterfeits. And it is also imperative to explore the counterfeit industry to educate consumers on the negative consequences of counterfeit products. And key contributions to practitioners: companies should also maintain competitive pricing, right? Because even though this hypothesis was rejected, we still felt that pricing is a factor. And maybe there are many reasons why that hypothesis could not be supported. And new insights and understanding could emerge from testing predictors of purchase intention. And for example, the model was unique with a variety of constructs that acted as antecedents to purchase intention and loyalty. Then the impact of each antecedent could indicate how much that factor influences consumer intention to purchase counterfeit toothbrushes, and research could learn more about counterfeit purchase intention by further assessment of the proposed conceptual model. So essentially we are saying some of the relationships that were not tested could be tested. And for example, consumer attitudes were identified as the most significant predictor of purchase intention, which means that maybe future research could focus more on understanding consumer attitudes. And these are proposed relationships for future research. And these are our references. And thank you for your time.